Welcome to the Mind Muscle Connection podcast with me, your host, Andrew Chadwick. Now, we're going to be discussing all topics from training, nutrition, mindset, recovery, as well as your habits and routines to give you the best success possible. So sit back, relax, and let's go. Hey folks, hope you're okay. Welcome to the first ever Mind Muscle Connection podcast going out on YouTube as well. So I'm really excited to be delivering this content on two platforms now, and I know that the video and audio are going to go really well together, but we're also going to be able to give you the content kind of visually and not just kind of an audio setup. So I have got my lovely pink whiteboard here that I'm going to be using for kind of the content purposes as well. So the first podcast we're going to be looking at for this series is going to be the 4 C's to habit and success. Now, before we get into this episode, I do want you to go ahead and give it a like, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and just sit back and relax and just get ready to listen to some great content. It's going to be a short video, but I know it's going to be jam-packed full of great information for you. So we're looking at the 4 C's of habits and success. Okay, this was taken from Jamie Alderton's Mindset with Muscle podcast, and I've kind of just had a think about it and kind of bring you some different examples that maybe Jamie hadn't thought of or didn't want to use, so we're kind of looking at that today. Alright, so the first C that we're looking at in terms of habits and success is choosing what you want to do. Okay, we all have goals that we want to set, and we all have goals that we want to achieve. Sometimes we kind of don't necessarily think about them too much. We kind of just go with the flow and see what happens. And what we're actually looking at here is making sure that we're choosing stuff that we can actually achieve, and it's not too unsustainable. Okay, so one of the big things that Jamie looks at was he said in his podcast that if he was to just simply put down 35 books in front of you and tell you to read them, it's such a big task to undergo that you're probably not going to end up doing it. But he says that if you read one chapter per day, which takes around 10 to 15 minutes, you can actually read 35 books in a year. Now, if we said, for example, the same kind of example, but we use weight loss, okay, we said we want you to lose 20 pounds in a week. Well, bar cutting off a limb, we're going to struggle with that. So what about if we said, okay, I want you to lose a pound a week? Now that becomes a lot more sustainable and a lot more manageable, that we can then do it long term. Okay, so we're going to continually see progress off the back of that. So we need to choose what it is that we're going to change. Okay, so those habits and that success is going to come about by choosing the habits we want to change that are going to allow us to then keep making progress. Okay, the second one is combining those habits. We all have those habits that we do daily without even having to think about, like brushing your teeth when you wake up, or brushing your teeth when you go to bed, probably making a coffee in the morning when we first get up. It's a big one for a lot of people. So the consistency of habits, we want to try and combine with other habits to make a new one a lot easier. So say for example, we get up and brush our teeth every morning. Now what about if we said we're going to get up and brush our teeth, but alongside that we're going to do an extra 100 steps while we're brushing our teeth? We might go and get up and we're going to say, okay, the habit that I'm going to do is I don't have time to read a chapter of a book a day. Okay, we don't have that 10 to 15 minutes, but what I am going to do is I'm going to put that audio book on in the car when I'm driving to work. So I'm combining another habit with another habit. So we all have to commute to our workplace unless you work at home. So we could all potentially listen to that chapter on that way to work. Something that I've been doing for myself personally is I'm listening to audiobooks on double the speed and podcasts on double the speed. So actually I'm able to listen to more information faster. And the brain has amazing ability to kind of make us understand it. So you're probably thinking, well, hang on a minute, that's really difficult to understand and listen to. Your brain actually catches up, and we can actually kind of take on board that information at that faster rate. Okay, so the third one is challenge. Okay, we're going to make a bit of a game out of it. And if we can gamify something, we're going to do a lot more we're going to do it a lot more consistently. We're going to find it quite fun. So we're probably going to set ourselves our 1 month goal. Okay, and then we could do 2, 3, 5, 6, or whatever it may be to achieve your goal and that habit. Okay, so our 1 month goal. Tell people to keep you accountable. Okay, so set yourself a 1 month goal. So I don't know, maybe drink 8 glasses of water a day for a month. It may be do 30 minutes of exercise every day, whether it's going for a walk, whether it's doing some stretching, some abs, going to the gym and getting a full workout in and training, whatever it may be. Set yourself that 1 month goal that you're not going to break that habit. Okay, from there, tell the people around you. And the biggest one for me is always the significant other. So I always tell Lauren that I'm going to be doing this, and I'm going to go ahead and ask her to keep me accountable. So she's just going to check in with me every now and then and just say, hey, look, how are you getting on with this? Are you achieving this? Are you moving forward and you're actually progressing in your goal? And it forces me to then have to kind of, I don't want to be the person that will get asked that question and be like, no, I'm not doing it anymore. Because I don't feel like that's something that was meaningful to me. Now, I don't want to set goals that aren't meaningful. So I always want to kind of make sure that if I say, look, this is what I'm going to do, I need you to hold me accountable. She's going to check in with me and I'm going to be saying, yeah, smashing it, doing really, really well. Because I absolutely cannot stand it when I say I'm going to do something and I don't do it. Okay, so the significant other tends to be the best one to tell. And the other reason why they're the best one to tell is sometimes they don't necessarily help us to our goals inadvertently. So let's say, for example, the easiest one to use kind of off the top of my head is some significant others will actually give you bad foods because they want to make you feel better. So guys, we typically want to make our partners feel loved and we'll actually give them chocolate because it will make them feel better. Now, what that is actually doing is potentially stalling their progress. So if they are someone that's wanting to lose body fat or weight and they're kind of being given treats or kind of the chocolate to reinforce happiness, then it can actually stall their progress and kind of hinder it. Okay, so we want to make sure that the person that we're telling understands why we're doing it, and then they can help us as well as keep us accountable. Okay, and finally, the last one is commit to your goal. Commit to the habit. Okay, commit to yourself regardless of feelings. And some days we're probably going to not want to do it. Maybe drinking the 8 glasses of water, for example, we're probably not going to want to drink the 8 glasses. And it's one of those that you have to commit to say that you're going to do it every day without fail because it's something that's meaningful to you. It's going to help you progress and help you move forward in your life, okay? It's going to lead you towards that success. And the one thing that I would always say is we're not always perfect, okay? We may have a day where we missed it. I think 2 days ago, I missed my stretching routine and my abs routine. And it's very easy to get upset about it or annoyed about it or let the feelings of doubt or whatever it may be come into your mind and kind of hold you back. But what I'm going to say is if you do have a day where you miss, and for whatever reason it may be, good or bad, I just want you to draw a line under it. Draw a line under it and move on to the next day. Now, the next thing I'm going to say is that next day you haven't got to do double the amount, okay? It's just a case of you go back, you do the same thing, you do the same amount, and you get back onto the habit and routine. One day does not break the cycle, okay? You can do 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks and then have one day off and then the next day get back onto it. The reason why it tends to kind of break down is people draw those emotions inwards and kind of create the blame and the self-doubt and the inadequacies that they then can't achieve what they're trying to do. Okay, so if you miss a day, it's absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. Draw a line under it, move on to that next day. Okay, right folks, that is everything I was going to cover for the 4 C's of habit and success. So we've got choose, combine, challenge and commit. And I want you to give those a go. Go ahead and comment down below if you've got any questions, if you want me to answer anything, and I will be back next week with another podcast and video for you. And if you've got anything that you would like to see, or if you know anyone that you would like me to see or speak to, and potentially we can set up a call with them and we will get that content out there for you. So have a great week and I'll speak to you all next week. Peace out.